Previously, I shared ideas on ways to economize when eating out, and today I was going to share ways to just basically save money. Now, if you're like me, I like to save money wherever I can. It makes me feel good that I'm using my money wisely, that I'm spending my money wisely. And yeah, you're going to spend, so why not get as good a deal as you possibly can? Why not get a discount if you can, you know? So that's what I'm going to talk about today. So I have about a dozen points to share here, a dozen ideas of mine to share with you today. And let me get started here with the first one, which is, believe it or not, cook at home. I do cook at home a lot. Yes, we do eat out occasionally during the week, but I do cook at home more than not. Yes, you can save money by making a meal at home, even for just 2 people. You know, you can cut your costs quite a bit, and you may still make a big enough meal where there's leftovers, so you've got more than one meal available there that you've prepared. It's like when I make my goulash meal, yeah, I could cut the recipe in half if I wanted to, but I don't. I make a full recipe, and we have it for supper one night, freshly, cooked, and then we have enough left over for maybe 2 more meals out of that before it's all gone, actually. And so that one pot of goulash that I made makes 3 meals. Now that is really a cost savings right there when you consider what goes into it and how many meals I make from it. So when you have leftovers, definitely use them. I am guilty that sometimes it'll just get by me that I forget to use a leftover, whether using it up in another meal somehow, adding it to that meal, or just eating it as it is, as a leftover meal itself. So I'll end up having to throw it away, and that's a waste of money, which I don't like to do, but sometimes it does happen. As a matter of fact, if you go out to eat and you bring a leftover home, that's another good idea too. That's like having a twofer. So that's like a free meal on the house, extra. And everyone likes to eat out every now and then, and when you do, you save money where you can, when you can. But like I mentioned before, you can split a meal. If you are eating at a restaurant where you get a really large portion, enough to do that, split the meal and order side items to make the meal larger for everybody. There are some restaurants that have a senior menu, which have the smaller meals specially priced, or value meals, dollar meals, whatever, something like that. Take advantage of that sort of menu. No matter what, though, enjoy your meal. And if you have leftovers, take it home. And if you do take it home, try and use it up somehow. I can tell you that even pizza will reheat up very nicely in an air fryer. It comes out tasting like it's just freshly baked. So yeah, you can reheat a lot of foods in the air fryer and also the microwave, but I seem to use my air fryer more for any leftovers anymore. Another thing that I tend to do is shop the sales for just about everything and anything possible that I need. That goes from clothes to appliances, anything like that. If you're okay with used items, then yeah, thrift stores, Goodwill, places like that are a good place to go too. And also at those places, you can sometimes come across some items that are either like brand new, gently used or worn, or donated items that are brand new with a tag still on them. I have found things like that. So yes, take advantage of that. Another thing you can do is definitely wear your clothing more than one time before washing it. Now, yes, there are times when you do have to wash right after wearing once, but sometimes, like for me, I'll go out in the morning and run some errands, and I'll be gone for a couple of hours maybe at the most. Come home and change clothes. So that outfit that I wore in the morning, I don't typically wash that day or throw it in the wash. I will hang it up in my closet in an area that I know is something that I wore before. I'll wear it again on another day, like for half a day type of thing, not a full day. So I will get more than one wear out of a piece of clothing that way. That way you are saving on your washing needs and saving a little bit on the cost of doing your wash. That kind of leads me to my next idea. Save on drying clothes in the dryer. If you can rig up a clothesline of some sort in your yard or back porch or something like that, do so. When I lived up north, I rigged up a clothesline in my backyard, and I hung up clothes in the nicer weather, not winter. Some people do hang out clothes in the winter. I never did do that, but in the nicer weather months, I hung all of my towels out, my sheets, any linen type things I hung out. And I tell you, there is nothing to compare with the fresh smell of fresh air dried towels and linens. It smells so nice. Nothing to compare to that. But living in the South where I do, where it is so humid, yeah, that has been next to impossible to do. You can hang clothes up indoors where the clothes would be in a position to receive airflow from like your air conditioning vents, but that's nothing at all like fresh air from clothes hanging out on the clothesline. I rarely do hang out clothes to dry in the house anywhere. Only occasionally will I do that, and not for long and not very often. It just doesn't work well. But if you do have the opportunity to hang clothes out to dry, I would suggest doing it. I miss being able to do that. And it's true that in the winter when I lived up north, well, you know, I had a big potbelly gas run furnace, which was gravity heat, and I sometimes would hang things up in the bathroom area, and the furnace gravity heat would get to that and dry it too. I didn't have clothes hanging throughout the house though, no, just a few things here and there. Nothing like what I used to hang out on the line in the nicer months, but in the winter sometimes I would do that. Or hang it up in the basement where I did laundry, and the furnace was down, you know, big pot belly was down in the basement, and it would get warm down there. So yes, things would dry very nicely as well. But I did air dry a lot when I lived up north, much more so than I do now in the south. In the winter, with the furnace on, keep your thermostat, I would say, at a certain constant temperature that is tolerable to you and anybody else living in your household. Now, some areas have a budget plan available to offer to you, and that's a good way to go if you really need to stick to a budget that will help you budget your money out each month. I did that when I lived up north, and I lived alone. I had my own little house that I, bought up there, and within my first year or so there, the gas company came out with a budget plan, or sent me mailings on the budget plan that they offered, and explained that I paid so much per month, a set price, for throughout the whole year, instead of paying a higher price during the winter months, the heating months, and then very little during the summer months. So I took advantage of that, and I do remember I paid $59 a month. During the winter months, that was a breeze compared to well over $100 that I was spending on fuel beforehand for heating purposes. It was very, very high before that. So yes, I did like the budget plan. And in the summer months, instead of paying practically nothing before, I was still paying the $59, but it was tolerable because I was doing that throughout the year. So that was a good way to go. And for budgeting purposes, that was excellent for me. And if you would maybe benefit from doing something like that, go for it. Contact your gas company, see if they have budget plans available for you to take advantage of. I don't know what other utility companies might offer such things as a budget plan, but it doesn't hurt to ask, and it helps you in the long run. Another idea is when washing laundry or even washing dishes in a dishwasher, wash a full load. And I'm guilty of doing this in the past. I used to be guilty of washing maybe one item, like a one outfit that I wanted to wear the next day, and it was dirty, but I didn't have enough for a full load, I'd still go ahead and wash the one item and get that cleaned up. I don't do that sort of thing typically anymore, but I have done that. I'm guilty of doing that in the past. But I just know that it's more beneficial to you, more cost efficient to wash a full load, both of laundry and dishes. You know, put a full load in there. Another thing, which is kind of a pet peeve of mine, I guess, is turn the lights off when you leave a room. Okay. Turn them on only if you're going into that room or if you need it on while you're in the room. Now, my husband is a good one for this. He likes to turn on the bedroom lights. We're in the family room watching TV with the light on there, and he likes to turn the bedroom light on so that if he should happen to go in there to use the restroom or whatever, you know, he doesn't have to turn the light off and on. So it's on for several hours unnecessarily, but that is his thing. He likes to do that. That's his way. Okay. Another thing is the fans. We have ceiling fans in the house in most of the rooms. Now when we're in the family room and during the nicer months when the air conditioner's on, okay, fine. The ceiling fan is on the family room. It helps circulate the cool air. Understandable. We don't leave them on typically in the other rooms of the house because we're not there. And there are times when my husband will leave the bedroom fan on because he just feels it cools the rooms down. Well, it doesn't though. If you're not in there, who cares anyway? So I'm a good one. I'll go in and turn the ceiling fan off in the master bedroom until we're there. And then it does have some benefit in my mind. Another way to save money. Turn electrical appliances off if you're not using them. Now one thing I do not do, but it's a good suggestion, is to unplug any electrical appliances or any electrical device when you're not using it. No, I don't do that with every electrical device in my house. Now if there's something here that we don't use for months on end, yeah, sure, why not? Unless there's a really, really bad storm, and then we will unplug things. Or if we go on vacation and we're gone for a while, we unplug the electrical appliances. Most of them. Not the freezer or the refrigerator, not things like that, but little things throughout the house. Another thing to do is, and I've harped on this before, and I don't mean to harp, I'm just saying what I do, but I use coupons when shopping or eating out. I use coupons wherever I can. I love bargains. I love to be able to save a little bit of money, and that's what it is. It's just saving a little bit of money, but at least it's saving. I take advantage of the BOGOs, the buy one get ones free at my grocery store all the time. If it's an item that we use, we stock up on it when it's on a BOGO. You better believe it. And we do buy only the items that we use. There's a lot of other items that go on a BOGO and that it's like, I really wouldn't be using it. So no, it doesn't benefit me at all to buy that, and I don't. But give me a BOGO on something that I do use, yeah, we stock up as much as we can. Well, you saw my toilet paper stockpile. Yeah, that was usually like a BOGO or a buy two at a certain low price. Or I might have a good coupon for one item. Yeah, I stock up on that. I mean, that's a paper good that you use on a daily basis. That and paper towel type of thing. We stock up on that. No problem. So, those are my tips on how to save money. Different ways to save money, and maybe you already do this. If you do, that's great. If you have any other tips that you want to share, please do, okay? Just put it in the comments below and we'll get it shared. I'm sure there's other ideas out there, so it doesn't hurt to speak up and let us know what you do. But I just thought I'd come on here and share a few of my ideas with you today, okay? Take it or leave it, but that's how I do save a little bit of money here and there on a daily basis. So anyway, I hope you have a good day. You all take care, and we'll talk again real soon. Bye for now.